Hello everyone, welcome to Gold Classes. Very firstly, before I go any further, I would like to say a very special good evening to all of you. By the way, my name is Riya Yadav. Basically, I am from Jaunpur Sil. If I talk about my qualification, I am pursuing graduation in arts. I am delighted to have with us a special guest, Dr. Awnindra sir. You are a founder of Gold Classes, Institute of English Language. I am very grateful to you, sir, for giving this opportunity. I am delighted to be a part of this conversation. So, without taking much of your time, when it comes to my question, I am sharing with you something. I have some question for you, sir. I want to ask you. It is rightly said by great philosopher Nelson Mandela, the education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. Yeah, it's truth. As far as we know, it is important for everyone, but girls are facing a lot of difficulties in my life, in our life, and in addition to that, they are dropping their education. So I want to say, what's your opinion in this regard? How can it be changed in this regard? Please, sir, tell us.
Yeah, all right, Ria. Thank you so much for having me here in this particular conversation with you. And I'm very happy that you are speaking and you have asked a very nice question. And it is, I think, very uh, good question for me actually, just because you have raised a question about education of girls.
Yeah.
So education is an important weapon. Is the most important weapon by which we can change the whole society. It is rightly said by Nelson Mandela, a great philosopher. But I want to know, here in our India, in the country like India, we still have a huge gap, between the policies we make and its implementation. So, in a country like India, whatever we have to do is to bridge the gap between its implementation and the policy that we have made, okay, in our country. So girls, as you rightly said, are facing a lot of problem, I know, and in rural areas the problem is worse, and in cities I have seen they are moving and marching ahead, and with their right kind of mindset they are exploring the whole world. But in rural areas the girls, I think they are not doing well, and they have some, rudimentary thoughts behind education. They don't want to take risks. They are always preferring, I mean to say, traditional kind of education. They are not taking any kind of risk, in order to be a good kind of person in their life. Okay, so this is why, in order to answer your question in a, very short, in the shortest possible words, I want to say girls should be aware of what they are doing, and they should know at least what is happening in the world. And in every nook and corner of the world, whatever is happening, they must be aware of it. If they are not knowing their rights, and they don't read about Indian constitution, the special rights and provision we have in the constitution for them, if they don't pay attention to that, I think that they cannot be a successful person in their life. And girls, I think on them there is a greater responsibility. If they don't change themselves, it is rightly said, if a girl is changing her, attitude and her entire, career, she can change the coming generations also. So they are the creator. They are the, I think, only responsible, I think, person in life. They can change the whole society. They can bring positive changes in every nook and corner of the world. So I am coming to my answer in short, and in conclusion, I want to say girls should be aware. They should read much books, more and more books on their, they should go and attend some seminars and conferences on women empowerment. And in these seminars, I have seen experts keep coming, and they always talk something that we don't think, and that generally don't come to our mind. So girls should always be an active part of those conferences and seminars. They
Yeah.
should go to the universities like BHU, Banaras Hindu University. They should move to the nearby locations where conferences are held, and they can learn a lot of about their special rights and their privileges, and they can change the whole society.
Yeah.
And they should never think that they are far behind in the race. They have great responsibility to play, they have roles to play, they can change the whole society. And as a coach, I also have taught so many students. I want to teach them how to speak English and how to be a good communicator. I have seen everything, Ria. So I have always tried to empower my girls. Whoever joins me here in this class, they come here, I always tell them, you should learn to drive a car. You should change
Yeah.
the scenario of India. In the present scenario we see on roads, there is a few number of girls, they drive car, they think that it is not for me. They are not speaking English, they are not learning skills. They are doing something, like they have closed their boundaries, and they are in the box. They don't think out of the box. These are the areas where they have to work upon, so that we can bring positive changes in the society. So that's what I have to say. And I think education is a good thing we have to promote for them. That is why. Okay, so
Yeah.
what's your next question for me?
Thank you so much, sir. I am satisfied with your opinion. Thank you so much once again. Second thing is that my next question is,
Yeah.
English is an international language. Uh, so I want to say why it is important for us
Yeah.
in the coming days and in the coming generation. Why it is important for us?
Yeah. It is, I think, a difficult question to answer, but it should be easy for me because I have spent a lot of time
Yeah.
being in this profession, in this particular teaching industry, I can say. So, speaking a language, I think learning a language becomes an important activity for anyone. And if we talk about any language, we cannot live our life without language. So
Yeah, sure.
if you go for learning some subjects like mathematics, physics, chemistry, and so many subjects we have, like information technology.
Yeah, yeah.
But on top of all that, I think language comes first. Language has to be learned first, because whenever a child is born, he is taught how to speak, and it generally happens in the mother tongue. But when it comes to speaking English, in India, this is the second language for us. So Hindi becomes familiar to anyone who is born in a Hindi environment. But when it comes to English, I am talking about languages.
Yeah.
So we have, I think, equal importance of Hindi and English. So Hindi is the first language for us, the mother tongue of ours.
Yes, sir,
So
sure.
I always, as a coach, respect the importance of language. Language should be learned properly. And once you are okay with the first language, that is Hindi, you can also make good command over English as well. This is
Yeah.
the second language in our life. In India, particular country like India. So as you asked this question, why is it important for us?
Yeah.
So in order to answer your question, Riya, I want to say quite frankly,
All right, sir.
you must learn this skill early in your life.
Yeah.
You should not ignore it anymore, because I know students come to me and they always show their sorry figure that I cannot speak English, and I teach them properly, and after 2 or 3 months of their association with me, they start speaking. So they do everything very nicely, and it becomes very easy to them. But before that, they had a wrong perception that they could not do this. It is very tough for them. But when they come here and meet me, I make their perception wrong, prove their perception wrong, and I tell them to speak English, and they also speak English. So this is
Yeah,
why
yeah, all
language
right.
is important. Coming to the conclusion, I can say, Ria, language should be learned first, and we should leave behind all the subjects. Keeping them aside, we should prefer language
Yeah.
first to learn, and we should always face cameras, and we should go for public speaking. We should be an active member of participant of debates, group discussions, and we should always try to express our opinion. That is my opinion as a coach.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so much, sir. Uh, it's no doubt. You teach us English as well as you teach also uh, body language,
Yeah.
dressing sense, uh, a lot of good manner,
Yeah.
everything else. Thank you so much, sir. It's my opportunity that I'm your student.
Yeah.
You are changing the life of many students like us. Thank you so much, sir, for coming over here. It was nice conversation with you, sir. Once
Yeah.
again, thank you so much, everybody. And